Okay, I have started recording. So, hello everyone. So, I think this is the second class of professional practice law and ethics from my side of module one. Okay, so we are discussing about professional practice. I think in the last class we have already discussed about different stakeholders of professional practice, like government regulatory bodies and other standard organization and other uh, organization. I think we have already discussed about that, isn't it? I think we have discussed about UGC, we have discussed about AICTE, we also discussed about Institute of Engineers, Indian Road Congress, and many more. Fine. So today we have not so much to discuss, only one small topic I have taken for today class. Okay, so let's uh, share the screen. Okay, wait, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, okay, can you see the screen? You can respond in chat box or just unmute yourself and just tell me. Can you see the screen? Right in chat box. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So for today's topic, the title of the topic is rights and responsibilities of client in contract for service. Okay. So it's a very simple topic and very small topic also. So we'll discuss about contract, definition of contract, why a contract needed, and what are the responsibility of clients. So I think you have heard this term contract in your day-to-day life also. Why can you tell me actually what do you mean by contract? Anyone? You can also uh, give response in chat box also. If you know what do you mean by contract, it's a very simple term.
Agreement between two persons.
Yeah, yeah, good. So it's just a agreement. Let's say, suppose I want to do something. Okay, for my in my home. I suppose I need to construct my home. Giving an example. So something I have some work to do, but I don't know how to do. But I need to hire somebody who expert in that particular job. That means I need to go to that particular person that please do this work for me. Then I will pay you something for that particular work. So it is called agreement. Okay. And if that agreement is converted in a particular document, binding or enforcing law, okay, that become a contract. That means I should bind by law to give a pre-decided amount to the particular service provider. Okay, after the completion of the job or intermediate, whatever, there will be some condition also be there. So this is called contract. Okay. So if you go through the basic definition, so what do you mean by contract? It is a written or spoken agreement. Basically, it's the agreement. So it's a written or spoken agreement, especially one concerning employment, sales, or um, that is intended to be enforceable by law. I'm just going through the Google. Okay, you will get this idea about contract. So another definition, let me go through you. Okay, so contract in a simplest definition, it is a promise enforceable by law. Now it is a very good statement. So what is contract? Contract is a simplest definition, which is defined as a promise enforceable by law. Okay, the promise may be to do something or to refrain from doing something. Okay, the making of a contract requires the mutual assent of two or more persons, one of them originally making an offer and another accept. Now let's discuss some important of contract. The contracts provides what? Contracts provides a written document that outlines the full understanding. It's outlined the full understanding of the business relationship and scope of the work so that no one can claim any misunderstandings later on or later down the road. Okay, and they are bind by legally. Okay, so they are binding and legally enforceable. So it's a basic definition of contract. The contract is done between mainly two parties. I'm not talking about members. I'm talking about definition. Okay, it may be multiple members may be included, but one side is what it represents as a service provider, and other side will represent as a client. Okay, so if you consider for a particular service, I think you can see in the notes also. A contract for service is a contract by which a provider of service agrees to provide a service to a client in exchange for a payment. Okay. So, so in this class, we'll discuss some rights and responsibilities, especially for a client, uh, which are involved in a particular contract. Client means if I have something to work, I have some pending work, or I want to go for construction of something or anything. Suppose I want some loan. Uh, so if I approach bank, then I become client, and the bank becomes service provider. Right? So let's just like that. The definition works. So let's discuss about some responsibility and rights of a client who hires a provider of service. I think we'll in this class we'll discuss only two responsibility here. The first is what? Respect the provider's independence. Okay, respect the provider's independence. So let's go in details about what it's asking about. So a provider who enters into a contract for services can choose how to perform the service. Okay, that means the service provider have full independence about the actual procedure or the methodology that is going to follow to complete the particular project. The client should not interfere in his job. Okay, he has some uh, restriction there. So I'm again repeating the line: a provider who enters into a contract for services can choose how to perform the service. The client therefore cannot tell her or him, whatever you say, the client therefore cannot tell how she or he should perform the service. Okay? However, the client can tell her or him, the client can tell what he wants, okay, and also oversee the progress on the work and express his preference regarding the result. Okay, so that means it's not like you don't need to, you don't have any rights to interfere. At least you can say what you desire, what you want to achieve at the final stage. Okay, that you have to explain your desire or your expectation to the service provider so that he can understand. The service provider can understand your aim and objective of a particular job. So suppose I'm giving an example. Suppose I want to build my home, and I have to approach to a builder or construction company. Okay, take an example. So I become the client, and the construction company become a service provider. Okay, so as a owner of the plot, okay, and as a client, at least I have rights to express you know, my uh, my size of dream house. What kind of a house I want to build in my plot. Okay, so how many rooms, bedroom I needed, how many, washroom or bathroom I needed. master bedroom, attached toilet or not. So these things I can give that information, or I can give the preference to the particular construction company. But I cannot go through the, I cannot interfere their methodology. I cannot interfere in their methodology that they are going to follow in constructing particular work. Okay, because they are more professional than me in a particular uh, work, okay, or in a particular professional practice. Fine. So this is the basic definition or basic idea about this term, that is respect the provider's independence. Fine. So this independence of the provider of service is the main difference between a contract for service and an employment contract. Fine. That means employment contract means like we are under employment contract under some university. So we have to follow the rules and regulations and governed by the management. Okay, like that. Okay, there's one more example here. I think you can see. So, for example, in a contract for service where a marketing agency agrees to find sponsor for a company, that means the company becomes a client, okay, and the marketing agency becomes the service provider. Fine, okay, fine. X second, hold on, please. Yeah, okay. In a contract for service, wait, wait, okay. Yeah. So in contract for service, where a marketing agency agrees to find sponsor for a company, where a company which is act as a client can require that the agency hire a competent individual and use certain advertising documents. So a particular company which needs sponsor, okay, and he approached a marketing agency, and of course the company expect from the marketing agency that the marketing agency should have some skilled person that are able to acquire some sponsor for them. Okay, their desire for that, but they cannot go for like that. You cannot use particular that person. You cannot give this responsibility to that person like that. So this is the rights are not under client. These are the rights under marketing agency, which act as a service provider. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Where am I? Yeah. Yeah. However, the marketing agency always retains control and direction over the research method used and the people it hires. Okay? The marketing agency, which act as a service provider, always has the control over the direction over the research method and the people it hires. Okay? It also decides what potential sponsors it wants to be. So most of the actual methodology that should follow all are decided by the service provider, that is the marketing agency. In this example, fine. I think you have got this idea about that. Okay. Any doubt till now? You can respond. Please write in chat box. If you have any doubt, you can write in chat box. Any doubt? You can respond in chat box. डाउट है कि नहीं? यस और नो? Okay, at least I've got some response. Fine, thank you. So let's proceed to the next responsibility, that is keep the provider informed. Okay. So the next responsibility, or you can say the right, I think it's a responsibility. Uh, that is keep the provider informed. So under this particular segment, it is divided under two heads. Okay, first part is under ordinary client, and another one is your expert client. So what do you mean by ordinary client and expert client? So I'm taking the same example, okay, of the construction of building. Fine. So I'm a civil engineer, okay, and I know basics about construction. Fine. But if I want to go for a construction of my particular home, okay, so I can approach to a particular construction company. Fine. So it is my responsibility, not as an ordinary client, I become the expert client then, because I know something about particular work that I want, that is construction of home. So I can go, uh, I can approach to the particular construction company, and I can give all the technical information that I have. I can share my information. I can share my plot area, build up area of the particular you know room, carpet area, and where should I put my entrance, where should I put my kitchen, okay, how many floors, floor thickness, something like that, okay, where type of staircase, okay. So these things, all the technical term that actually as a expert client, I know all these things. So it's my responsibility to share this information with the service provider, that is the construction company, okay. But it is not monetary. Okay. For if I consider ordinary client, like a normal person who, well, just ordinary people who doesn't know about engineering or civil engineering specifically. Okay. You only share his basic um, what you call expectation from them, or what kind of house you want to build. This thing he can share with the service provider. Fine. Excellent. Hold on. All right. Fine. So let's discuss about this in detail. So under ordinary client. So what do you mean ordinary client? A client who enters into a contract for service must give the provider all the information he has about the service to be provided, either before the contract is entered into or while it is being carried out. The client must not give wrong information. This is the main and uh, very important statement is a client must not give wrong information. So yeah. So under expert clients, a client who is an expert in a particular field related to the requested service must give the provider of service more information, more information than a client who is not an expert. So let's take an example. Suppose take an example of a client who borrows money from a bank. Okay, say for example, she's a mistress, okay, and does not know anything about finance. She's a simple lady, okay. She doesn't know about finance, and want money from particular bank. She wants some loan from particular bank. So in this case, she only has to give the bank information she reasonably believes to be useful. Okay, so there is no such responsibility on her as is a ordinary client. She doesn't know anything about finance. Okay, however, the same situation would be quite different if his client is an experienced accountant. Okay? As someone who knows a lot about finance, she would have an obligation to provide all the specific information she has about her financial situation. It would be hard for her to define herself. Sorry, it would be hard for her to defend herself by claiming that she didn't know that certain information was important and that the bank didn't ask enough questions about her finance. So if you are an expert in a particular work and if you're going for a particular service, if you're going approach some other party for the particular work, and if you're expert in a particular area, then you have it's your responsibility to share your all the information, correct information with the service provider. And the last line, what it is saying, it would be hard for her to defend herself by claiming that she didn't know about certain information. That means you can't defend yourself that you don't know these things because this is the basic thing that a particular skilled person or an expert person must know about that particular area. Okay, so this is basic things that I want to explain here in the particular class. I think uh, you have gone through this. So you have any doubt till now? Because for now I have ended my class. It's all about the material that I want to share with you. Anything to ask till now? Anything? No? Good then. Okay. I'll take attendance then. Okay. So if you have nothing to uh, say, then I'll take attendance. Okay. Then. Wait. Okay. I'm just closing my sharing. Okay. And I'm going to stop the recording.